Hello students, how are you all? I hope you all are doing well. I am Mr. Prithviraj. I am your class 10th physics teacher. Today we will discuss our chemistry, that is chapter number 2, chemical equations. In our last class we have completed so far up to balancing an equation. Today also we will stick up with the same concept, balancing of equation. And here I'll teach you something else, that how to make an equation more informative. Sir, what exactly this word means? This word means that the way we are looking at a paragraph and we are writing equation, the same manner when we are looking at an equation, you can write a paragraph that what all conditions have involved to conduct this particular experiment. So while writing an equation also, we can make it more and more informative. How we will make it more informative? Let us see. Let me write here some points. Making chemical equations more informative. Making chemical equations more informative. Okay students, how to make equation more informative? It will be easy. Okay, so let me write here first some points. That first we will integrate physical state. And you will see that we have to indicate physical state. First one. Second, heat changes. We have to mention heat changes or not. What is heat changes? Exothermic or endothermic process. We will denote it with delta symbol. The symbol called delta. This symbol we will give. On reactant side, if temperature has been introduced, then you will give delta symbol on the reactant side, but that is on left. If you are giving, if product side heat evolved, then you will place the same symbol on product side. Got it? Okay. Then what is our third one? Gas evolved. Gas evolved. And the fourth point is your precipitate form. Is your precipitate form. So these are the four things. You don't have to get tensed. I'll explain about each and everything in this class. Okay? Let us make an equation more informative by taking an example. Please remember these four cases, students, whether we are doing it or not. You will see what was our first condition, expressing by physical state. We will express physical state. So let me take an example, that is Fe2O3 2Al such 2Fe plus Al2O3. Okay students, see, this is our equation, it is given. And what you need to remember, before making an equation more informative, you need to always balance it. The way you can see, it is all balanced. You need to balance it. If you won't balance, it won't work. At first you will balance, then you will go for whatever, like the what you call informative and all. So first condition is to first one expressing its physical state. Fe2O3. What exactly it is? It is solid. Your ferric oxide is a solid compound. So I'll write here in bracket S. I don't know you can see or not. You need to write in bracket S. Okay. Aluminum, again 2 aluminum are solid substances. So again they will write S in the bracket near what? Aluminum. What about Fe? Again students, Fe is your what? Solid compound. So you have written solid, and again aluminum oxide is a solid compound. So you will write here S. So you have represented your what? You have represented all states, physical states involved in this particular product and reactant side are all are solid, solid, solid and solid, right? Next, expressing the heat changes. Expressing the heat changes. This is for first example. Now let me take second example. Second example is your C plus O2 gives CO2. C plus O2 gives rise CO2. Okay. Students, what exactly is C? Carbon? Carbon means carbon related any product. You can say charcoal, you can take wood, you can take an example of your butane, these are all things, okay. So now we will burn a carbon, especially charcoal. It is what? Solid, right? Yes, carbon is solid, right? Okay, we mentioned it. Oxygen is a gas. We will write small g. We will write what, students? Small g. What about carbon dioxide gas, students? Carbon dioxide gas is a gas. I am speaking. Say I am writing CO2. It is two other things. If I write CO, then it will be cobalt. So I am writing CO2. Right? It is your carbon dioxide and it is also a gas. Now, question comes for heat changes. Where heat has been changed. That's what we have to see. We need to look after. When combustion process is happening, while combustion process is happening, what you can observe is heat is coming out. You can see this one. When you are burning carbon, you will see carbon dioxide, heat and light. These three things are formed. So here heat is formed. So you will give symbol delta or you will give symbol Q. You will give symbol what? Q. So heat is coming out from this reaction. So this will be called as exothermic reaction. What are the students? This is an exothermic reaction where in the product side heat is yielding. Okay, you are like you can see heat is evolved from nowhere from the reaction. Next example is N2 plus O2 gives rise to NO2. Okay, let me write here something. Here students, N2 is a gas, so I write G. O2 is a gas, I write G. NO2 is a gas, again I write G. But here, while if you need to combine N2 plus O2, you need to give enormous amount of heat. So you will give heat here. So you will write here delta. That means temperature is given. But outside you won't get, product side you won't get any temperature. The NO2 gas which you will get, it is cool. Like it is normal temperature. You won't get extra amount of heat. So here Q has been what? Deducted. It's minus. So you will write this kind of reaction as endothermic. You will give it as endothermic reaction. I hope you all can see, students. This is your endothermic reaction. This is your exothermic reaction. Exothermic reaction means in a reaction heat is coming out. Endothermic reaction means in a reaction heat is what? Heat is like used to conduct the carry out the reaction. Heat is used. These are the two examples which you need to see. And our third case is what? Expressing gas evolved, right? Expressing gas is evolved. So I'll look up the third one. I'll erase this one. Third and fourth I'll do here. So on the fourth case, students, expressing the gas evolved. How? Let me take an example. If a gas is evolved in a reaction, it is denoted by an upward arrow. If a gas is evolved, students, you need to denote it by giving a upward arrow. So let me write here one example. Zinc plus H2SO4 gives us zinc sulfate plus H2. Zinc is solid. Let me write here solid. What about H2SO4? H2SO4 is aqueous. Students, why I am writing aqueous, not liquid? The thing by nature which is liquid. If you are writing water, you will write is a liquid. If you are writing bromine, you will write liquid. If you are writing mercury, you will write liquid. But here H2SO4 I am writing aqueous because here I have added water. The compound which is mixed, a solution in water, like solute in water, that compound you will be stated as AQ, aqueous. And I hope the arrow mark we didn't give anything. Now we see ZnSO4, zinc sulfate is a solid compound, but you are getting it in aqueous form because it is salt, right? It is a kind of salt, so it will be dissolved inside water, and you are getting H2. H2 is what? It is a gas. It is a gas, and it is evolved out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, H2 gas is evolved. So here you will give a symbol upward arrow near H2 because that will come out from that reaction. Where suppose you have taken two beakers where you have conducted the experiment, from that experiment the H2 will be evolved. Okay? Okay. Next, expressing precipitate form. Expressing precipitate form. Students, it is not mandatory to mention everything. If heat is used, you can like easily represent. But physical state is mandatory because everywhere, whenever you are writing a chemical reaction, you are using chemicals. You write elements, compounds you are using. So in that case, you people need to what? Write its physical state. Now it is the last one, expressing precipitate form. If precipitate is formed in the reaction, it is denoted by downward arrow. It is denoted by what, students? Downward arrow. Let us take example of AgNO3. AgNO3. Okay. Kept in sunlight. Okay. Next with sodium chloride. What you are getting? Follow according to your book. You are getting AgCl plus NaNO3. Here I have done wrong purposefully. What? By writing C a small letter. You should never write C in small letter. You should always keep it in capital letter. Because chlorine is a compound. C should be capital. So this is what your compound. AgNO3 is your silver nitrate. Silver nitrate is aqueous. Silver nitrate is aqueous. Then NaCl. NaCl means what? Salt water, students. It is also aqueous. But here you got AgCl, which is solid. A solid compound came out of nowhere from two liquid compounds. We have added two liquids, but one solid compound came out. This is what your precipitate, and it will be given a downward arrow mark. Here you have to give downward arrow. Okay? Downward arrow mark. And last one is NaNO3, that is your aqueous. This is your water only. So this is also aqueous. That is also aqueous. This is solid and that is aqueous. So students, This is what we have learned. We have learned about four conditions here. First, we need to write the physical states of the compounds which are incalculated in the reaction. Second, we need to express any heat changes. If heat is huge, then you will give delta symbol here. If heat comes out, you will give delta symbol at last. That one we have used, we have learned. And expressing the gas revolt. If any gas revolt, please mark it with a what? Upward arrow mark. That one we have learned. And about what? Expressing precipitate form. If precipitate is formed inside a reaction out of nowhere, then you will give a downward arrow mark beside that precipitate which is formed. Precipitate is nothing but a solid which comes out from a reaction where you have not taken any solid. You have taken two solids, then solid will come, it is something else. But you have taken two liquids, but out of nowhere a solid floating over it, then you will call it as a precipitate. So this is the end of our lesson. In our next class, we will learn about interpreting a balanced chemical equation and how can we interpret it, and we will learn a new concept called what STP related issues, standard temperature and pressure related problems. So until then, bye.